Hey, throwing my hat on. Not that I have anything to cover up except my bald head. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and Brass Ring Media. Hey, check it out. But I'm here live on a Friday. Robert is unfortunately unable to attend today, so you are stuck with me, DPD. Yes, my middle name starts with a P. Can you guess what it is in the chat? Guess what my middle name is. Starts with a P. That's the only hint you get. Let's say some shout outs to some folks here in the chat. Triple E says, did you all know when Marcus D'Angelo does a pile driver, the ground apologizes? Did you know Marcus once suplexed a steel cage? The steel cage tapped out. Tomorrow going to be dope. Yes. So tomorrow, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, the Washington Wild Things ballpark will be taking place. Wrestling at the ballpark. My brother Marcus is in a match against Victor Benjamin, and Marcus is ready to show Victor Benjamin how to run the bases. So should be a fun match. Excited for the atmosphere there. I'll be on commentary for the International Wrestling Cartel. So you can check that out on Triller TV if you're not there. But if you are there, maybe take a look at going and checking it out, seeing what it's like. I'll be there. I'll say hi to me, whatever it may be. So here we go. Kami Star says, hi, guys. Should the chat just take over ad reads again? That was fun. That's hilarious. R&I, happy Friday. Dom, great show last night with the Human Podcast Machine and RVD. You, Robert, and the chat have a great weekend. Thank you, Wrestling Old Ahead. Yes, guys, if you aren't aware, last night I did go live with Rob Van Dam and Taz to honor Sabu. Katie Forbes was also there. It was a really, really, really fun show. Taz was so gracious with his time. We almost went 3 hours. To talk about Sabu, some of the misconceptions that have been propagated online about Sabu regarding GCW, regarding Kratom. Rob goes into detail about that. So a very informative one, very fun episode. Some great stories being shared. Really makes you appreciate Sabu for the person that he was, and obviously the talent that he was too. And Taz made such a great statement about like how he should be in Sabu should be in every Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and can't agree with him any more than that. Also, too, just announced last night there is a GoFundMe going on for Sabu and his family to help with funeral expenses. So if you're able to share or if you'd like to donate, you can do that. The link is already online on RVD's X account, and it's getting some traction. So really appreciate all the love and support that's been going there already for that. So feel free to share and donate. If you're not able to donate, yes, sharing is also great too. So, but we appreciate all the love that's already been shown. And man, pretty cool stuff. Dre Owens says, happy R&I Friday. It's NXT versus Double or Nothing next Sunday. Oh, that's a good point. I did not even consider that. Oh, here we go. We got the middle names thrown out here. Price. No. Bradley. That's not a P, unless you're talking about something else, Cammy. But that is not my middle name. Podcast. Dominic Podcast D'Angelo. Dominic Price D'Angelo doesn't sound that bad either. That sounds like my heel. If I was rich, that'd be my heel persona name. But Dre Owens nails it. It's Paul. Everybody. Dominic Paul D'Angelo. So there we go. Not Pendergrass. Oh, Penderhughes. I was thinking Teddy Pendergrass. All right, Perry. Oh my God, we getting some good names. Peter, Don Paul. That's right. Percy. Mike Hawks also got it right too. Thank you. All right, good stuff, everybody. It's too late to guess. Yes, it is, Ron. It's confirmed. I am Paul. All right. So I could be, man, if I really wanted to live the gimmick, I could be Dominic Paul, like Logan Paul or Jake Paul. And just really lean into that. A lot of YouTube influencing, stuff like that. I need all the help I can get with that, by the way. All right. Hey, let's talk a little wrestling today, huh? Shall we? Do you guys want to? I mean, we don't have to, but we do have a SmackDown to preview. And wow, some things I weren't aware of. Let me just double check to make sure that's right, but I wouldn't see how it couldn't be, right? According to the SmackDown preview I have, Cody Rhodes is returning tonight. When did they promote this, or did they promote this? I am curious about this. All right, so we're taking a look. I'm just double checking here to make sure that this is accurate. All right, so am I looking at the wrong? Maybe I'm looking at a very old. I don't think I am though. What is going on? Did anybody else see something about Cody Rhodes returning tonight? Because all I'm seeing for a preview is Money in the Bank qualifying matches. I don't see anything about Cody Rhodes returning. But let me take another look here. Backstage notes. Look, I'm not seeing anything. Was I looking at an old article? What's going on here? What is going on here? I think this might be inaccurate. No. See, it says Cody Rhodes returns. This is according to my site, SC Scoop. So I guess I got it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right. Money in the Bank qualifying matches. First set of qualifiers for the men's and women's Money in the Bank will take place tonight with stars such as Tiffany Stratton, Shinsuke Nakamura. Wow. Okay. He's in the mix again. Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and more expected to compete. Yes, so here it is. Cody Rhodes returns. The American Nightmare makes his first appearance on WWE programming since losing the Undisputed Championship to John Cena. Fans are eager to see what's next for Rhodes as he begins to climb back top. Now, by all means, I have not seen this anywhere else, but pretty neat. I didn't know this was a thing. Cody Rhodes returning. I was even checking the website. Oh, so Dre says he saw the Cody announcement on socials. Devin says there's a lot of reports on Tommy Dreamer's ideal scenario for Cody Rhodes' return. That's all I see. I know. I'm like looking at it. Ron Ward, fun fact here. So Taz was on the show last night with RVD. And before we went live, it was just me and Taz. And actually, I interviewed Taz like 4 years ago. It was at StarCast 4 when it was in DC. And I was sitting down with Taz, and like somehow we got on my name, and we were talking like Dom. Everybody was calling me Double D. I think that's was it. And I was like, you can call me DP because my middle name is Paul. And we did that, and we joked around. We literally joked about that, me and Taz. So wow, synchronicity coming into play right there. So okay, somebody said they saw it on socials. Cody Rhodes returning. Don't know what that's about, but should be good. How would you position Cody? I hope he changes look a little bit. How cool would it be if Cody comes back with jet black hair or something like that, or just changes things up? I think that's always good to do, and it's not done enough in today's wrestling. I mean, John Cena gave his reasoning for keeping his look, and I understand it, and it is kind of heelish in a certain way. But I always think it hammers the point home when you change your look after you leave for a while. Now, granted, Cody hasn't been gone that long. He hasn't even been gone a month. But it could speak to character development and some changes going on. Cody should have been a surprise entrance for Money in the Bank. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get him talking. If he's coming back tonight, I think he'll declare his attempts to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match, because like Robert said on earlier shows, I think that's the perfect avenue for him to get back in the storyline mix. And if he wins that Money in the Bank briefcase, that's a great element you can use with Cody, and him wanting to cash in on Cena at any point, any time during Cena's limited dates. So I think that's a kind of a cool thing aspect to have with Cody coming into play here. All right, gotta find what. Okay, I think this is it here. Yeah, here we go. Also on tap, we have the United States champion Jacob Fatu, Jeff Cobb, and Solo Sikoa. So they did a good job at Backlash showing that the physical similarities, yet tension between Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb. Cobb comes in as the new muscle for Solo Sikoa to help Jacob Fatu when he clearly didn't know what was going on and probably didn't need it. Even though LA Knight had him laid out on the commentator's table, you think about like, well, there's plenty of chances still for Fatu to take out LA Knight because it's just him and LA Knight. That's it. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest were out of the equation at Backlash. So Jeff Cobb coming into play here is fun. Wonder if they'll give him any speaking time. and how they'll position a little bit more. Obviously, he'll seem like the new heavy here, but gonna get some personalities clashing tonight. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Stratton is set to appear following Jax's victory last week to become the new number one contender, setting up a future title clash. Yes, so I question a little bit of the direction that this is all going in. Same with the Gunther storyline. This is kind of has the parallels in certain ways that Tiffany, I just think is so good as a heel, and I know that the crowd is really behind her and does a lot of different things. I'm getting a phone call. I'll have to take that in a second, but I don't think it's the right spot for her as this baby face. And I understand Nia is a good heel and things like that, and you're trying to do what you can to get her over as a face, but ultimately, I don't know if that's the right lane for her at this moment in time. She's such a natural heel. Greg Gagne has said that himself. So that's it. Willie Thornbrew says I think he says all it means all I see were qualifying matches. But yeah, I don't know that's what I see on SE Scoops, and I trust my editor that he knows what he's writing there. So I think I'm going with it, like that Cody is coming back tonight. So I just haven't seen anything else yet about it, really. All right, let's see what else I want to talk about here. That's all really at. Honestly, that's kind of all I had on tap for today. But with the SmackDown preview, but some interesting stuff. Let's see what we got here. Some weird viral clips. Oh, best of luck to JR. Prayers out to him. He announced that he has colon cancer and is going into treatment. So I want to make sure that send the love out to JR and wish him the best. Obviously it's a bad thing to have, and you want to make sure you get checked up on. So hopefully they caught it relatively early, and things go okay for him. Prayers out to him. Everything for JR there, because that it's a tough situation. Yeah, like he was diagnosed with skin cancer in late 2021 too. So it's just like JR's been through and obviously something akin to this before. So best of luck out to him, and hopefully it's a speedy and healthy recovery for him. He's set to have surgery soon. So let's see what he had to say. Yeah, he said diagnosis this week with colon cancer, surgery being scheduled next week or two. Appreciate concern and support. So all the best to JR at this time. What else we got here? We're taking a look at the dirt sheets, digging up them dirt sheets, baby. Let's see. Zelina Vega, she says it's still shocking to her that she is part of wrestling history. Oh, look at this quote, though, with Dom Mysterio. This is some good heel stuff here. In a new interview with Jim Barcelona, shout out to Jim. He's been sharing out some of my content stuff. I always appreciate Jim. He's based down in Miami, the MIA. But he had an interview with Dominic Mysterio, and this was he gave his reaction to the AAA partnership. Jim Barcelona asked it. Dom said, honestly, it was very surprising. WWE had a small partnership with TNA, so in my head, I would assume they would have done other types of partnerships with AAA, doing these small partnerships where we mix and let each other borrow talent and stuff like that. But I didn't think it would have been possible, right? They actually purchased AAA. To me, that's so huge. That's not, if not the biggest company out of Mexico that has a history with not only the Mysterio name, but so many other lineages and luchadors that have so much history. The fact that we can bring that into play, not only bring what we can do out in Mexico and what Mexico can do out here in the United States, like talent-wise, such a huge blessing for us and everyone around. Then Here's the quote of quotes. For me, before I even started wrestling and training, it was always a dream of mine to be able to wrestle in Mexico with AAA as part of AAA because I always wanted to continue the Mysterio legacy and do it better than he did in every way, shape, and form. I'm currently in the WWE and I'm already better than Rey Mysterio, right? I would love to go to AAA and cement my legacy there and make better than what he has already done. I'm going to go down in AAA and SHIT over Rey Mysterio. So the name that you remember coming out of AAA, Mexico, WWE, whatever, TNA, anything. You hear the word Mysterio, you think Dominic Mysterio. Yes, Dom. Yes. I love it. You really can't beat that. That's Dom. Chef's kiss. There's a lot. I mean, I think about some of the top personalities in wrestling. He's at least top 5. You could certainly make an argument for top 3 right now. You know, when it comes to digging in and having this charisma and just the heat himself, like I think of somebody like a Drew McIntyre who knows what he's doing. Um, and like this is kind of like a vague way to say it, but I think he's definitely in the top 3 of wrestlers who know who they are, like as a character or persona. Man, really, really cool. I really like Dom a lot. I do. And it's not that we share the same name either. Let's see. Trey Owens, did Sportskeeda report Cody coming back? I do not trust anything Sportskeeda puts out there. They do have a good employee though, Kevin Kell. And shout out to Bill Apter too. But some of Sportskeeda is a little dicey. Can we get more matches announced for Double or Nothing? It's frustrating that TK waits until the week of to announce a pay-per-view card. Yeah, it is kind of, I don't know, it kind of speaks to like, hey, where is this long-term storytelling going? Shouldn't stuff be announced already and things like that? And maybe he wants things to develop organically on television when it comes to like maybe like the Anarchy in the Arena thing that's going on and things like that. But yeah, he tends to do this a lot, doesn't he? I just think less is more. Obviously, with these pay-per-views, it's like I understand probably his thought process is we're going to be different from WWE and have a bunch of matches and make this pay-per-view feel big time with so many matches and, give the fans what they want because say what you will about the pay-per-views, a lot of the time the match load on it all. I mean, ultimately, it usually most shows, AEW shows, they kind of for what they're doing hit a home run. Like in regards to, hey, that was a good show, that was some good matches. There's a lot of good stuff to take away from the pay-per-view. Now, granted, I do not like length of pay-per-views that long. I cannot. I think what WWE is doing when it comes to the 5-4 matches, even kind of structure, is the ultimate way to handle things because it's like quality over quantity. And when you have 5 matches, a match like Pat McAfee versus Gunther, granted, not my favorite match whatsoever, but it makes it feel like a bigger deal. So I think if you highlight certain wrestlers and you have, gosh, I don't even know the card right now. Let's take a look at the card real quick while we have things. Double or Nothing 2025. Let's see what the card is. Interesting. I just saw a little tidbit about it. So we got Hangman Page versus Will Ospreay. Awesome. Boom. Look, I mean, right now they have 5 matches announced, and not quite like a really pay-per-view caliber kind of show at this moment. I would have probably switched a few things out here. I mean, I would be like, hey, let's keep this. So we got Hangman Page versus Ospreay. We got Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. Also, Hurt Syndicate will be taking on the Sons of Texas. That's Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara for those tag team championships. haven't done a whole lot to build to that, to be honest. I mean, literally, we got the start of it this week when it came to Dustin Rhodes and Sammy coming out, and so not a lot of time to build to that. So it doesn't feel like I love Dustin Rhodes. He's one of my favorites, but he just got inserted into this just basically right now. So it's just like, and there's time to build to it, but right now it doesn't feel like a pay-per-view match. We have Timeless Tony Storm with me taking on Mina Shirakawa. That also just got revealed. So yeah, they're trying to, again, they're heating up Mina, winning the eliminator match and stuff like that. So yeah, I can understand where they're going. I'm sure they can make this a little bit more intriguing as the weeks. Oh, geez, as the week goes on. It's next week. What am I talking about? So hopefully they can do that. Yeah, I think it kind of speaks to, hey, let's focus on the women's division a little bit more and make these women feel like bigger stars. Because I mean, Mina Shirakawa may be popular in Japan, but really, you ask 90% of wrestling fans, maybe that's being a little too over exaggerating or hyperbolic, but you ask a good deal of the majority of wrestling fans, they're not going to know who Mina Shirakawa is. They aren't. Just not happening. Then we also have a tag match, FTR taking on Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Intriguing. Lots of this has been showcased on Collision, though. So if it happens on Collision, does it really happen? I know it happens, but metaphorically speaking. So there we go. That's what we have here. Mariah May returning during the women's title match. It's a good thing to throw out there, Devin. I don't know. That would be intriguing. Triple E, there is no Greg and Magnum episode today. We'll start back up again next week. Going to do a little creative pivot with Straight Talk with the Boss. I think I actually just spoke to Greg on the phone today, and I think the idea is going to be, we're going to be more focused. We're going to still talk some of the current news, obviously, but I think we want to take more of a focus on their heydays in wrestling. Because me and Greg had just a fascinating conversation last week when it came to Vern Gagne, the end of the territory days, hypothetically what Vern maybe could have done to stay in the business, if that was even a thing. And so Greg gave some good insight on there. So, but we're firing it back up next week, and maybe a little bit of changes coming that way too. So when it comes to some stuff, Devin says, I was highly disappointed when it was Swerve who came down for the save instead of Darby coming down from the ceiling to save Joe. Interesting. Yeah. Darby, let's see what Kimmy says. Isn't Darby still doing the mountain climbing thing, Devin? So he did that skateboarding trick on Mount Everest. Maybe is he still up there? I have no idea. That whole thing is, I think that kind of speaks. I mean, Darby, I like Darby a lot. But when you think about it from like a NFL perspective, and I always use an NFL as an analogy, but it's just like, how engaged into pro wrestling is Darby ultimately? Like, is he somebody that can carry your company? He seems like his interests are all over the place. So it's just like, if that's the case, it's tough to have somebody be there and do it. But hey, he's a young guy and he probably wants to experience a lot of this stuff, and he's a risk taker, clearly. So I mean, maybe this is something he wants to experience, get off his bucket list, come on back, and then he'll be committed to the product a little bit more and stuff like that. But I don't know. Do you guys see Darby as a future AEW World Champion? I mean, I see him winning that championship, but I also, I'm curious if people think though that he is championship material like that. Do you think that? I kind of do. I think him being around, yeah, I kind of like, I'm not against it necessarily. I don't think. I think he should actually, now that I think about it, I think he should be the champion at some point. I just think he should. He's been an integral part of the history of AEW. They clearly made him and formed this cool, unique friendship with him and Sting. So he carries on the Sting legacy in a lot of ways. So yeah, I think that as I give it thought, yes, I think he is championship material, not just from maybe what Tony Khan is thinking, but I think from a perspective of AEW as a company. So there we go. Let's see what people say. Ron Ward says, I hate to be that guy, but Darby can only ever get so far just because of his size. See, a lot of the times I see what you're saying, Ron, when it comes to that aspect. But I think Darby is an anomaly in a certain ways. Obviously he's a different person than Rey Mysterio, but I think Rey Mysterio was believable winning the world championship. They made it believable, and I think it's cool that he is in WWE's history as a WWE champion. I think Darby, you can kind of play off of that in a different manner. Like obviously Darby has a different style, different personality, other aspects like that, but I think you can kind of make that analogy or comparison between those two. And he's kind of like almost their Rey Mysterio in certain ways. So I think I can buy into that. Like, yeah, I mean, I think if you're putting somebody else in that role that has that kind of body type, I'm with you. But Darby, who he is, how he handles himself, I think he can make it to that level in certain ways. Ron Ward says, I go for the secondary title with him. He's no Rey Mysterio. Obviously, yeah, I don't think he's no Rey Mysterio. He's no Rey Mysterio. But I do think for AEW, he is kind of their Rey Mysterio. So, Cammy says, size don't matter, but when it does matter, let me tell you about Blue Chew. Yes, Blue Chew, Blue Chew, Blue Chew. I don't have the ad read today, so I can't read it. I don't know it. I don't know it offhand. But what I do have here is, do I have it? Hold on a second. Bear with me. You got to look good. It is summertime. Some people like to wear shorts. Others like to wear jeans. And let me tell you, you fans, you listeners, about the Perfect Jean. That's right. Perfect Jean, I'm a huge fan of. I got I think it's called Joker Blue. I got that one. And man, I am not lying when I say this. By far, by a country mile, my favorite pair of jeans I've ever owned. The comfort level, the fit, and how it just, the maneuverability in it. I have not had any issues with the Perfect Jean whatsoever. Usually as much as I wear jeans, you get the hole in the crotch. It happens, but not with the Perfect Jean. It has. And it can't be more happy with the product itself. There's so many different sizes and styles that you can get. Fits to what you are looking for. The Perfect Jean. And you can save 15% with us here at Rumor and Innuendo. It's such a great product that we are very happy to have them as a sponsor with us. And so you just use promo code Rumor15. You can go to theperfectjean.nyc. So it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans and going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code RUMOR15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code RUMOR15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. F your khakis, Marcus your khakis, and get the Perfect Jean. So, yeah, can't speak highly enough of Perfect Jean. Big fan. I need to get my pair going again. I got to do laundry. And usually when I'm done with laundry, when I do laundry, first pair of jeans I put on is the Perfect Jeans. So they're usually in my rotation really early on. And then I just got to do another load of laundry and get those jeans cooking again, baby. Triple E. Any predictions on Joe Henry versus Trick Williams at NXT Battleground for the TNA title? I'm trying to see where the value is going to be. I think Trick winning the championship could create an interesting story for TNA and for the future of Joe Hendry. I don't know what his contract status is currently with TNA, how long they have him under contract, things like that. But I mean, if you're WWE, you might want to tease the element of him coming onto the programming a little bit more. And this could be the door opening for that to happen if Trick Williams wins the championship. So could be pretty cool. I think now I can also see the other side of the coin where, hey, Joe lost to Randy Orton at WrestleMania in what was a historic match because of uh, what what it all entailed. So maybe they would want to have Joe get a big win, and a big win would be against somebody like Trick Williams, former NXT champion, and somebody that uh, NXT and has really put their chips behind for a while. So it'd be pretty interesting. Dre Owens, who is winning King or Queen of the Ring? Good question. Good question. If I'm trying to think offhand here, who might fit that bill from a female standpoint, women's wrestler standpoint, I could see Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is my early pick for Queen of the Ring. And then guy wise, guy wise, I'll go pretty wild card here and say a returning Ilya Dragunov. How about that? I haven't seen Dragunov in a while. Him getting the win could kind of give him something pretty cool. And in the same turn, Gunther won that King of the Ring beforehand, so you can rekindle that fun rivalry between those two. So those are my two picks. I'm going with the smaller people. Roxanne Perez and Ilya Dragunov. Those are my early predictions, if Dragunov is healthy. I do like Devin's suggestion, though. King Balor. I do like that. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Mike Hawks. Double D. Thoughts on Julia's Jeff Cobb signing with WWE, baby? I like it. I like both those talents. Julia is such a unique talent. Part Italian. Hey, part Italian. And then, my phone is blowing up. That's a scam. That one's a scam. So yeah, I like both of them. I like Jeff Cobb a lot. I like him, and I think WWE can have some fun with him. And obviously, they have the confidence in him already, putting him in that situation where he is in a big faction storyline. Triple E's seen a last opponent prediction. I'm going Cody Rhodes. It's my guess. Cody Rhodes is my pick for John Cena's final opponent. Seems like I think how it's been angled is Boston. I could see him dropping the title to Cody in December. I think it would be potentially. So that'd be fun. Second choice. I don't know. I guess from a fun story standpoint, it would be CM Punk. I think that'd be kind of cool. Kind of a cool thing to do. Dre does do my fantasy booking of Cena versus Angle. Would be great if Angle could go. That would be great, wouldn't it? It'd be really awesome. But fortunately, I don't think that's in the cards. Dre Owens suggests King Ludwig, Queen Roxy, or Chelsea. King Ludwig would be good, and usually that the King of the Ring does go to a heel, so I could definitely see that argument. I don't see this, Cammy. No, I don't see Joe Hendry being seen his last match. I think he would almost really need to be even more established on WWE programming. And maybe you could do that within this time frame, but I don't necessarily. I think we could see him one of Cena's opponents in a match potentially, but I don't see Joe Hendry being his final opponent. Yeah, I was thinking that in my head too. Imagine Cena versus Rock one last time. But yeah, it being in Boston in December potentially. Would The Rock create a story for that? I mean, you can it's kind of baked in there in certain ways because of what happened, what all transpired. So you don't need to do too much to get to that by all means. It'd be pretty interesting. Um, let's see here. My favorite Sabu match. Hmm. So Triple E, I've said this before. I didn't grow up like with Sabu in my wrestling forefront. I mean, he was there, but like when I tuned into ECW, it was much later on. So Sabu wasn't a very prominent person uh, on ECW program for me. There was RVD, there was like Rhino, we had Steve Carino. So I was much more on the later end of ECW and stuff like that. Taz was still kind of like in my head a lot of ways, but so I don't necessarily. I mean, I guess my favorite would be the one I was at, which was his last match, GCW. I guess I would say that one for now because I think it was such a cool atmosphere, and I love Sabu, and I thought he did a great job, and it was despite what people say, and you can check that out on the podcast I did yesterday. There was a lot. There was a lot that I enjoyed about that whole experience of it all and the significance of it all too. Ooh, Sabu versus Cena, that was a good one. Yeah, I also want to go back and watch Sabu versus Rey Mysterio. But I do like the stretcher match between him and Rob. I do like that one too. But to be forthright, I just need to watch a lot more Sabu matches. I just do. So I think that would, if I were to do that, that would definitely change my thought. But at the moment, I guess it would be his last match. I really liked a lot just because of the people that were there, Sabu being there, Fonzie being there, Sandman showing up, just the atmosphere. It felt like I got to experience ECW, even though I wasn't at an ECW show at that stuff. Interesting. Sabu versus Big Show is good. Short match. Ron Ward says, my very first ECW TV show was one where New Jack did a dive off the crow's nest. Holy smokes. I was trying to think of what that was called, the crow's nest. Yes, I was trying to, because I go to the Pirates games, unfortunately, and my buddy was like, hey, do you think there's a place to smoke? And I was like, no, there isn't. I was like, that they should have a thing like they do on a pirate ship where that's your smoke. You have to go up there. And it was the crow's nest. So thank you, Ron Ward, for that mention. All right. Thank you all for joining me today for this solo show. A lot of fun. I always like chatting it up with the chat and doing all this stuff. We'll be back on Monday. Talk about Raw, what's to come with Raw. Talk about any of the fallout with what happens with Cody Rhodes tonight, if he is there, and who qualifies for Money in the Bank and what that landscape is going in. Any other developments that happen, stuff over the weekend and everything like that. So, hey, be sure to check out Working Stiff. The new episode is up now. Robert and Scott, they do chat about Sabu. They do chat about kind of the friendly competition, friendly banter / competition / not so friendly in certain ways with AEW and WWE. Robert and I talked about Will Ospreay's thoughts yesterday on that. And, but in a lot of ways, it seems like good natured. So take a look at that. I will be tuning into that as well. As far as, like I said, be sure to check out me, RVD, and Taz going live yesterday. You can catch that right now on rvdtv.com. I will post another version of it for the episode this week. So that'll be up and available. Clips will be coming from that as well. And yes, if you haven't, go check out that GoFundMe for Sabu. And if you just want to share, just share it out. If you're not able to donate, I've been there before plenty of times. So anything helps. And we appreciate everybody and the love and support that's been shown. So cool to see for Sabu. And, I only knew him for a brief amount of time, little over a year and stuff like that. But man, what a cool guy. What a fun guy. I will miss him a lot. And he will be in my prayers continued. So thanks everybody for tuning in. You can catch Rumor and Innuendo every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time on the Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, the at W Creative _ish X account, also on Ad Free Shows' YouTube channel, on the Rumor and Innuendo channel. And hey, it's not the Working Stiff YouTube channel anymore. It is the Gagne and Magnum YouTube channel, but that also might change pretty soon. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on Rumor and Innuendo. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And hey, I'm going to say it. Let's go Knicks.